brought that on? Once that mental shift happened, what were the things that you can remember that became different about what you were attracted to?
Okay, so I was always attracted to somebody who was in one way or another trying to tell me I wasn't good enough. And so that's why I'm saying that anytime you think it's about the other person, that person is showing up to show you who you are. So if you're in a relationship where you've taken a lot of stuff, it's really not about that person. It's about what is it about you that doesn't have the value for yourself that you're willing to let yourself be treated that way. It's not about him. So now I thank him. I thank him. I realize that all of the bad relationships were my best teachers. So if you're in a bad relationship, if you were somebody that's not loving you the way you want to be loved or seeing you the way you want to be seen, that's not on them. That's on you. That's on you. And the reason it keeps showing up wearing a different pair of pants is because God, the universe, the life force is trying to get you to see it. And how bad does it have to get for you to see it? That's why it's happening.
This ties back to also when you just said the quote of, when you were on the back of the bumper and he's saying, you just think you're special. No, I'm not. This makes me just think about the conversation around shame. Yeah. Because I think a lot of times when we hear that as people, this concept of value or esteem, it's like, well, actually, I like myself. I think I'm this, I think I'm that. But sometimes the shame is actually coded with this thing of like, I think I'm so awesome that I'm embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you get what I mean by this?
Yeah, I do get what you mean by because, to be with somebody who doesn't see your true value and worth and who's trying to make you feel like, I was a local television reporter, which is in that market, you are the big deal in that market, but and people know you and you go to the store and people know who you are. So it's like you're a little fish or a big fish in a little pond. And he was like, oh, you think you're something because you're on the news, that kind of thing. And I'm like, no, I don't. And so I was out to try to, in my early 20s, trying to make that person believe that I'm just like everybody else. Boom. That's it.
That is dangerous.
Dangerous.
Because what's so funny is within this same conversation, you had the situation, clearly there was such great growth there because you had the same conversation with the man and you said, I want to be a mogul.
Yeah.
So at this point, it was like, I know I'm special.
Yeah.
And I know what I can achieve.
Yeah.
How
did I get to that?
Owning.
Yes, yeah.
Owning
yeah.
that I'm Oprah Winfrey, because that's what people got to get you. Because we all are special. I truly believe this.
I truly believe it too.
I truly believe this. But it's literally like that Marianne Williamson quote.
But yes. But here's the thing. It's those years. It's the years of holding onto the bumper instead of feeling what a jerk he was. I was blaming myself for it. Like, what could I have done differently? And so I was like, I would say around 26, 27, I came out of it. 28, I started doing my local talk show. 30, I moved to Chicago. By 30, I was solidly into this is what I want and this is what I want to achieve for myself.
Yeah.
But it took me some growing to get there. And you know what? If you grew up in an environment, and I say this all the time because one of the reasons why I feel so solidly grounded in life and so wise is that I have been obedient to the call of my life and I have paid attention. I'm not just willy-nillying. I'm not a part of the walking dead going through life. I'm paying attention to everything and I'm learning from every experience. And one of the reasons why I've been so gifted with blessings is because I had experience after experience after experience after experience to learn from on the show. I wasn't just doing a show. I was absorbed into what it means to create this kind of human behavior and how do I avoid that? I don't want to, you know what? And I think for a lot of people who watch the show and also now the podcast is like, oh, I ain't that crazy. Yeah. I can learn from other people's lessons. So I learned a lot from other people's lessons.
How has your curiosity evolved? Because like you said, 3,500 people plus.
Yeah.
Where do you find the desire or the urge? And I mean, look, human beings are so exciting and unique. So I get that. But what drives this next chapter of what you want to talk about?
Because I am continually interested in the rising of the human experience, of how we meet the rising of our lives. I think that we, as human beings who've been given this planet, my God, you look at God's like, when are y'all going to get it together?
Okay.
Over there on Earth.
So
and so being able to help people to see that through, storytelling, on the podcast and in other areas is still something that brings me great joy, stimulation, and curiosity.
Did you realize at the time, I think it's so important to ask people such as yourself, I mean, you've our cultural institution. But I always wonder, especially for any of us that are on our path, what did it feel like during the time? Did you actually feel like when you were doing the Oprah Winfrey Show, I'm making something crazy, incredible that's going to last a lifetime? Or did it feel chaotic and nerve-wracking and, you know what I mean?
Well, it was the joy of, all the stuff that happens when you have a team in place, and none of us are who we are without all the people in the background.
That's facts.
That's facts. Making it happen. And so it was a machine that was really humanized by all of the passion and desire of producers and the entire staff to do a good job for the audience every day. And we decided around 1989, certainly I decided, that I wasn't going to just be a show. I was going to be a force for good in the world. And I did that after doing a show with the Ku Klux Klan. I mean, I saw the Ku Klux Klan giving signals to each other. I was trying to, show their vitriol and their hatred, and I realized, I'm doing the opposite. I'm creating a platform for them to spread their vitriol.
Their unity.
And I had done another show where a husband had his mistress on and his wife on, and he embarrassed his mistress in the middle of the show. Embarrassed his wife by saying, "Oh, you don't know she's pregnant." And I said, "Oh, no, we don't." To see her face and her humiliation, I'm not going to be a part of that. So I sat down with the team and said, that thing I was talking about earlier, how do we just do work that is intentional to lift up people's lives? How do you do a show every single day, no matter what it is? It's infused with some piece of light in it, that people walk away with something that they feel like, that was worth my time.
Yes, right. How can I be of service to you?
Well, that's the word. The word is service. The word is service.
Because otherwise, what are we doing? I don't want to take from you. Everybody's already taken from you.
Everybody is taking everything.
So if I'm going to sit up here and ask for a minute of your time, you like Denzel, I'm leaving with something. You need to live with something. I really love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what it means to be a Black woman in these spaces.
Yeah.
And how you have to overcome so much based off perception, what people are expecting of you, while at the same time still being true to who you are.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
In every great production, there is the star. And then there's the thing that makes the star look good without ever asking for credit. Think about it. The right lighting paired with the perfectly timed music cue. The one friend who fixes your collar before you walk into a room. They're unsung, but yet absolutely essential. Life is already asking a lot of you. The best things are the ones that take something off your plate without you even having to ask. That's what Fruit of the Loom women's underwear is in my daily lineup. I'm putting together looks, I'm making entrances, I'm doing the most as always, and underneath all of it is something so comfortable and so reliable that I genuinely forget it's there. And when you're going to do the most, the last thing you need is one more decision. Fruit of the Loom is the one I already made. Comfortable, reliable, completely off my mental checklist. The fit doesn't shift and the fabric doesn't fight me. It just lets me do what I do. The most powerful pieces in any ensemble are the ones that elevate without competing. And when something supports you that effortlessly, you stop searching and you start trusting. It becomes the easy choice. Not because it's basic, because it's exactly right. One less thing to figure out, one decision you never have to second guess about. Fruit of the Loom proves that simple feels really good. There are two versions of me at any given moment. There's the version that is on the way somewhere, locked in, unbothered, do not interrupt me, I have a purpose. And then there's the version that sees a Starbucks and just turns mid-stride with absolutely no hesitation. The second one is my favorite version, especially in the summer. I'm the one who orders a tropical butterfly refresher, guava and passion fruit flavors, these mango pineapple flavored pearls that pop in your mouth, and a butterfly pea flower infusion on top that just shifts the color of the whole drink right in front of you. And I stand there watching it happen like it's the most important thing that happened all week, because it might be. One small choice can lead to a whole shift. Unlock your best summer memories with the Tropical Butterfly Refresher from Starbucks. Order now on the app. I think that's something that is so interesting, because we can find ourselves learning so many different languages, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then by the time that you get there, the very people that were motivating you to get to that place sometimes don't even recognize you. You go from being the underdog or someone that people are rooting for to sitting on the top of the mountain, and all of a sudden you don't look the same.
To them.
Yeah.
But those are the people who couldn't handle the oxygen. They couldn't handle the climb. So you cannot bring everybody along with you. And I will say this to anybody who's listening at whatever level you are, particularly if you are the first person in your family to break through. Then I remember in those early days when my salary was, all over the front pages of all the tabloids and stories. And, now that I look back on it, I can see how much God loves me, because at the time, because I'd always been in television since I was 19 years old, I was just going from one job to and now I'm going to do this job. And I realized that doing my own show in Chicago was a big deal, but I never expected to become. I remember telling my father when I was in the barbershop. My father had a barbershop in East Nashville one day. That actually, this is a better story. When my father was dying in 2022, we were sitting out on the porch.
Long life.
And my father said, "Is it true what they say?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, they say you're a billionaire."
Huh?
Is that true?
You say you what?
A billionaire.
Okay.
That's what my father said to me. He says, "Is that true?" This is 2022, July 5th, 2022. And I said, "Yeah, it's true." He goes, "Well, that's something. That's really something." He goes, "You never talked about being a billionaire. Now, you always talked about being a millionaire. You always said that one day you were going to be a millionaire. And I remember you running around the barbershop talking about you were going to be a millionaire. And I remember Mr. Thomas, when you became a millionaire, said, Oprah always said she was going to become a millionaire. I didn't know how she's going to do it, but she did it. So now you're telling me you're a billionaire." I said, "Well, I never talked about being a billionaire. I didn't know there wasn't such a thing."
Right.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. And so this idea that I have always had a belief that my life was bigger than I could even imagine, because I always thought I was like, I belonged to something bigger than myself, which is the higher power of God.
Right.
And so I actually do believe and did believe that through Christ you can do all
things.
I really do.
You can.
I really do.
My life is a testimony to that.
So is mine.
Is yours.
So is mine. I really did believe that.
Me too.
So all the things that people thought a black woman should be or should do, it never occurred to me that I couldn't do what I've done. It never occurred to me. It just never occurred to me. Never occurred to me, because I always saw myself as a little black girl who was truly God's child. So much so that when I started school, and I didn't even know who my father was at the time. When I started school, I used to tell people, they say, "Who your dad?" And I go, "Jesus is my daddy." And they go, "This girl crazy. She up here talking about Jesus is her daddy." So I really grew up believing that I could do all things because I was God's child. And so when I walked into the newsroom and I was the only black woman there, I just assumed I was supposed to be there because God had made the way for that. It never occurred to me to feel like I didn't belong, because I knew God had created the path for me to be there. When I got the job in Baltimore and was criticized for being black, let me just tell you, I didn't realize I was doing an interview with Tracy Ellis Ross about hair. We were doing a big thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so why are you crying?
Because I feel that exact same way, where even in my human moments where it's scary, or you can, people call it imposter syndrome, whatever, my courage has always came through because I have such a deep faith in God.
I don't have
literally
imposter syndrome.
the source. It's like, no matter what seems strange on the outside, it has never guided or stopped or thwarted my ability to push forward. And I think the tears are also coming from, first of all, it's an overwhelming sense of recognition. And then it's like, when people don't have that, when they don't know that, when they can't find their connection to that, I also feel grief for that.
Yeah.
Because certain things are out of your control,
That's
but
right.
that does not mean that it can stop you. And yet we are living in a world where people feel absolutely stopped. They feel like every hill is too high. There's no road they can get past. And that really saddens me.
Well, it saddens me, but can I say it saddens me? No, it doesn't sadden me. I'm not even sad by it anymore. You will get to the point where you won't be sad anymore about it, because you will be so grateful that you're one of the people who understands how it works. And so what I never understood when I was a kid is like people going to church, praying to God, and then going home and worrying. So when I lived in Chicago, my kitchen faced the Lake Michigan, and the sun would come up every morning over the lake. And I would stand there drinking my tea or coffee or whatever it was at the time, and I would just watch the sun rise before heading off to work. And I think my faith is like that. I have sunrise faith. All of us have been in an airplane where it's pouring, raining on the ground, and all kinds of crazy things are happening on the ground, and then you shoot above the clouds, and there the sun is there. It's always there.
Yeah.
Well, the power of God, the power of the force of your life, which you can feel in your breath. In every breath, there is the force of life.
That's right.
Breathing with, above, around, and through you. I have faith in that thing. I have faith in the thing that causes that sun
Yes.
to come up every morning. And the thing that made that sun come up every morning, certainly if I am in alignment with the truth of myself and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm moving in the direction that I'm supposed to be moving, it's going to meet me where I am. And it's going to grow me to the next level. That is what has happened in your life. That is what has happened in my life. And all those years, I was journaling and I was praying. I have these journals where I'm, asking God to help the guy whose bumper I was holding on to. God, please make him love me. Help him to see that I'm really the woman he needs and all that crazy. What I realize now is God was waiting on me. I'm waiting on God to do something to change him, and God is waiting on you. And so it's all about, what do you really want, and are you in alignment with with your purpose? As I was going to say, the great teaching from Seed of the Soul for me, there's a great line in there that says, when your personality, and you have a great one, you have a big one, your personality is huge, okay? Ginormous personality, comes to serve the energy of your soul. That is authentic empowerment. So that means when you are using, no matter who you are, if you are using your personality, your talents, your gifts, to serve the deeper reason why you're here, then you are in alignment with purpose, and nobody can touch you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, because you are in alignment with that thing, that force that makes the sun come up every morning. You are in alignment with that thing. And so why am I going to walk in a room and feel that because I'm a black woman, anything other than I am supposed to be here? Because God is the one who paved the way for me. I did not get here by myself. I mean, listen, I live in some of the most beautiful spaces in the world, but there is not one moment that I look outside my yard and I don't see the presence of God that got me there. I mean, I paid for it. I paid for it. But the fact that I'm in that space, it was a gift to me.
Yeah.
And the same thing, you're rising. I see you rising, and I see you meeting that rising for yourself. And I will tell you that your future is so bright, it burns my eyes. That's what's coming for you. That is what's coming for you. Because you are willing to be in alignment with the true purpose of your life, and you're not just out here playing. And when you stop playing, Maya used to say to me all the time that, baby, one day right now you're in show business, but one day you will be about your Father's business. When you can align your business with your Father's business.
How did you make your philosophy something that you could scale? Because it's not just superficial. It's not, and obviously this is no shade to somebody making a lip gloss or something like that. That's not at all. But when I think about the business of Oprah Winfrey, you found a way to create an ecosystem around things that are actually very, they're big ideas about growth, about inspiration,
about who you can be.
About who you can be.
It's not just who you can be. It's like who you already are. But can you meet the rising? I mean, you've already been created to do great things, and stop playing with yourself.
How did you make that a scalable business? Did it come before you? Was it?
Well, no. The reason, it's so interesting you're saying this, because I remember in the early years, people would say, the Oprah brand, and I was always offended by that. I know now everybody wants their own brand, but I was offended by the idea of people calling me a brand, because I thought, I'm not a brand, I'm a person, and all of this is just coming from myself. And so the reason why it's become scalable for me, because it's the truth of me. I was seeking it for myself. I was seeking it for myself. I wanted to be whole. I wanted to fulfill the mission of my calling. I wanted to honor God's dream for me.
Yes.
And I think creation has a dream for everyone it's created. And my advice to people is lean into that dream and stop trying to dream it for yourself, or align your dream with God's dream for you. What is that dream? What are you really here to do that's bigger than you playing around? What's bigger than your paycheck? What's bigger than the thing that, has you, lit up or partying or whatever? There's something bigger, deeper going on for all of us. And what is the why? What is your why?
Are there signs that people can touch on that point towards that? Meaning, like, when you know that you are in alignment, or when you know that you are guided.
You tell me when you've seen it. You tell me.
Well, when I've seen it in my life, what I feel like it is I'm following the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's like I'm making my choices not based off of directly the outcome, but what feels real to me. I'm almost sometimes feeling like I'm being literally led by a force to say something, to make a choice, to make a decision. It feels like it's just coming through me, as opposed to I'm trying to design it. And so sometimes it is difficult when even I'm asked this question about what it means to be in alignment. I think I always come back to finding a way to be present enough first. I think I always start there. I love Pilates because of that. I know you do Pilates
I love
too,
Pilates.
because it really allows you to fluctuate.
You got to get that toe on the bar. You got to get they all got to be lined.
It's a lot of alignment.
A lot of alignment. Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus. And now your back is out too. And then but
it's good with these new knees.
Okay, it's fantastic.
Okay. I'm always thinking about how to know when I'm embodied and when I'm not embodied.
Yeah.
That helps me to also figure out what's leading me, how I'm actually being in the moment.
Yeah.
But it's almost like something that you just feel. It's an inner thing that I've always felt since I was a little girl. Like when you were talking about, what your dad was saying that you were saying in the barbershop, I was like that as a kid. I always knew that there was something bigger than me. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if that was just because I grew up in the church. My dad's a deacon. Like, was that just that connection? Like, I'm always trying to figure out how to distill what has allowed me to become, because the process of becoming is so.
I can tell you what it is. Even if you haven't articulated it for yourself, it means you listened to something beyond the voice in your head. You were the observer of the voice in your head, like we were talking about, and you were able to listen to the still, small voice that led you forward. Every decision that has brought you success, and me success, and anybody else who's listening, has come from that space of something that's bigger than you, that has a dream for you, for lack of a better word, that has a design for you, that's waiting for you to find the flow for yourself. And the way to the flow is the truth. You can't do it if you're not in truth. You can't do it if you're abusing yourself. You can't do it if you allow other people to be in your life to diminish you. You are punishing yourself. It is a violent act against yourself to allow other people in your life to diminish you and do not lift you and exalt you. If you don't have other people who see you for the light that you are, for the joy that you are, for the goodness that you bring, you are with the wrong people. I don't care how that shows up in your life. If it's somebody you're working with, if it's somebody you're in deep relationship with, the reason that person keeps showing up in your life is for you to make the change. You can't change them. That's why The Wizard of Oz is one of the greatest teachings ever.
It's excellent.
It's excellent.
And what I love so much about The Good Witch is that she wasn't really telling Dorothy what to do. She was guiding Dorothy towards herself.
That she was making Dorothy remember. She was helping Dorothy remember. So it's Dorothy who says, I guess I learned that I look no further than my own backyard. The other great teaching of the Good Witch is, when she says to the Wicked Witch of the West, go away, you have no power here. So here's the truth for all of us. You only have power in your own territory. She was saying to the Wicked Witch, you have no power because this ain't your territory. You have nothing to do here, witch.
Exactly.
That's right. And the same thing for all of us. We spend so much time focused on other people's territory that you have no power over. So just take care of your own backyard, your own territory, and not worry. See that the things that are showing up in your life are showing up to help you raise your level of maturity, of growth, of consciousness for yourself. That's why it's showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about them.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't this such a great conversation?
It's such a great conversation. We got to have a part 2
I'm with Keke.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm with Keke.
Yeah, baby, I'm with Oprah. or Oprah, I should say. My girl. Okay, I'm not going to keep you forever, but you're going to have me on your podcast.
I'm going to have you on my
please, so that we can get into some more stuff.
Yeah. We
Because
got
I
to do it.
really, I mean, I could go on forever, but I'm not going to take all my girls' time. I'll end it with a little game.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to ask you a bunch of things that you may or may not do. You can tell me yes, no, absolutely not. But I'm nosy, so if there's a story, go ahead and give it to me.
Okay.
Okay. It's would you ever? Okay. So first one, would you ever host another daily talk show?
Well, I think I am, actually. I'm doing it twice a week with a podcast. It feels like that. Because sometimes I do it with an audience. So I love
I love
I
that
would
too.
do that, yeah. Daily is too much. Daily is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the medium's changed.
the medium has changed.
Yeah.
And it has evolved into the podcast is a new way of communicating with people.
And 2 days gives it a little time for things to catch up. You need information. You need news feed.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a group vacation.
Who's in the group?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So you would take a group vacation, but it needs to be certain folks.
Curated.
I know that's right. Yes. How many people max?
10.
Oh, I love that. Call me I'll behave. 10 people. That's a lot of folks.
Yeah. But
Love
you're going
that.
to need 2 cars for all the travel and na. But you can do 10. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
All right,
like that.
all
I
right.
like that. Okay. Sharing clothes with Gail.
No. I don't share things. If once you take something of mine, keep it.
Okay. Did you see Gail on Call Her Daddy? So funny talking about, people thought we were gay. It didn't bother Oprah because she had a man. That gagged me. She's saying that nobody would be hitting on her because they thought she was taking child.
It's true. That has followed us forever and ever.
It's really cool though to hear you guys talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, and just say how you felt.
It's
we
so
didn't
interesting because for a long time Maya said don't say anything about it because you only give it power. So we played that for a long time, like don't say anything. Now I think Gail goes, I don't care. I'm just going to talk about it. So I think, and my God, if you're still thinking that, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're just an idiot.
It's really relatable though.
Yeah.
It is. Because people always do that. Make up stories about, come on, man.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Read spoilers before finishing a book.
No.
Okay. You run a strict program.
Oh yeah, I got a strict. Oh no, I can't finish it if I've read the spoiler.
Really?
Then there's no reason for me to continue.
What's your favorite book of all time?
The Bluest Eye, Toni Morrison.
Amazing book.
Yeah.
Never turned it into a movie.
No, too hard.
Why would you? What do you mean? What do you say?
Too hard. It's just too hard. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Sad little black girls. The story of The Bluest Eye is was actually Toni Morrison's first story, and one of the things that surprised me when I had her on the show to talk about this book is that women around the world related to Pecola Breedlove, who is the main character, the little girl who went insane trying to have blue eyes, little black girl wanting blue eyes. And the message is that everything we've been talking about here today, anytime you're trying to be somebody you're not, it's insanity because you were only created to be you. So you are completely out of alignment if you're trying to be something that you don't have the capacity to be. So understanding your own capacity and who you were meant to be, that's the most important thing. And you can't do that by yourself. You have to ask the power, whether you call it God or not. You have to meditate. You have to sit in gratitude. You have to say, what do you want from me? Why? You have to ask the big questions of your life in order to continue to move forward. And my journals are filled with, why am I here?
Yes.
Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I really here? Am I here? I'm not just here to have a talk show and have shoes. Okay?
Yes.
And have good shoes. What are you here to offer?
But it's
offer
so
the
real
planet?
what you're saying because it's a broken equation to not acknowledge the you of it all.
Yes.
When you are constantly, that's why some people say, oh, you just show up, you just show yourself. Well, who else I'm going to be?
Who else you gonna be?
That's why. It's like, I don't have any other choices to be Keke.
And it's also the reason why, many times Gail will say, you're just sitting there by yourself. I go, I'm not by myself. I'm actually with myself. I'm never by myself. I'm always with myself. And I am the best company I could ever keep for myself. That's what I feel.
Did it ever get lonely?
I've never experienced loneliness.
Really?
No. I don't even know what that means. I actually don't know what that means.
Well, I guess in this context, it would be not being met. I think most people would maybe think, how many people can Oprah talk to?
Well, I think in my early days, those 20s, which were crazy for me, I think I felt lonely then because I felt I needed somebody to make myself feel whole. I don't feel that anymore. So I feel like I would be one of those people who could, obviously you need connection, relationships, and community, but I am happiest with myself.
I love this. Okay, just a few more. Go on a reality show. I already know the answer to this.
You know I don't have it.
Exactly. No. Read your social media comments.
No, I don't read them.
Karaoke.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. Period.
No, I don't.
Be 30 again.
No, I don't want to be 30 again, but I would take 44. I think it's life starts at 44.
Woo! Tell me why 44 was so good.
Because you come into yourself in a way that you're no longer trying to please everybody else. You come into yourself, you have I do have some girls now that I've mentored who are in their early 30s who've gotten to it sooner. But for me, it was 44 where I locked in, and I could see the rising for myself. I wasn't just doing things for other people. I wasn't just creating the work to be like, oh, I have this talk show. I really was in full drive, purposeful living for myself. 44 is when it locks in.
You saying that is so interesting about the 30-year-olds that you're working with. I'm curious of what you see in the difference generationally, what was allowed or what was possible for 30-something women in your time, and then when you see the 30-somethings of us
when
now.
I share my stories from my journal, or even actually have the girls look at my journal, they go, golly, what kind of woman were you? And what was it? They can't even believe it. The idea of putting up with somebody who doesn't return a phone call, or somebody who doesn't, all these stories I have about, not running my bathwater because the phone might ring, and so sitting by the window and waiting on the blue dots to show up.
So sweet.
So pitiful. So pitiful. So pitiful. So I see that there's a level of independence and growth in my daughter girls now that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. There's a level of maturity and respect for themselves. And I would have to say I played a big role in that, because for all of my girls, particularly the South African girls, they grew up in environments where they were abandoned. And I used to teach a class at my school called Life 101. And I literally said to them, you're going to have major problems in your relationships unless you get to the point of acceptance that you have been abandoned in your life, because a lot of them lost their parents when they were, because AIDS, and, absolutely poverty and crime and all the other things. So you don't want to be, I said, you're either going to be the kind of woman who is going through the pockets of your spouse and looking at the wallet and looking at the phone calls and who did you see and do you love me enough? Or you're the kind of person who shuts all of that down and you don't let anybody in. So do the work on yourself, for yourself, that gets you to the point where you can have full acceptance of yourself, so you're not blaming your relationships for where you are. And so I've seen that. Those girls are they're so good at it. They're so good at it. Much better than I was. I was late.
But it's so good, like you were saying.
Hold on to the bumper, baby.
That imagery?
Oh my God. No, this imagery. Okay. You see all the people watching from their apartments? Oh my God, that was bad.
Well, I think, I'll go ahead and leave it there, and I'll just say that what a joy. What a joy to sit down with you. What a joy.
What a conversation.
Man.
Baby.
We went here, there.
There.
Okay.
Okay. Have fun cutting that, y'all.
Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Baby, this is Keke Palmer. Oh, wait. I have one more thing to show you. I think this will give you a little key.
Okay.
Okay, let me pull this up. Hold on, girl. This is crazy. Ready to be gagged?
Yeah, ready to be gagged.
Please welcome a bright new young talent and the star of Aquila and the Bee, 12-year-old Keke Palmer. Come on out.
No, that isn't.
Oh, wow.
What year is this?
2005?
You kicked some in this movie.
2006.
Oh, thank you.
You were wonderful. What
Look
was it
at
like?
you. I love this.
Yeah, I did. Doug never gave me a break.
Oh my
The
God,
director
that's
and
so
writer.
good.
I was always some little Doogie Howser. Why did I have this suit on?
I know, but
Oh my gosh, I was such a serious
I remember
kid.
this. Don't we all automatically go back to what I was wearing that day? And
Oh my gosh, you looked fabulous.
I know,
I love this orange and this hair, this little half up and down do.
I didn't expect to cry. I just went in there and did the best thing I could do. And I went in there and I just started to cry when I was doing the lines. And I just was crying and saying the lines. And then I went and shook all the producers' hands. And I got to
Keke
Doug, and
Palmer,
he got up and he hugged
age
me.
12,
Thank you
actress.
so
Wow.
much.
Age 12.
Wow. Okay, I can't wait to talk to you.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to talk to you.
I cannot
Okay.
wait.
Okay. I did your podcast. You got to do my podcast.
Done.
Yeah, done.
Yes, you're the best girl.
Then you can see my backyard.
Yes, my girl. Oh, oh, that was Oprah Winfrey. You guys, I just cannot believe the conversation that I was having with her. I mean, I was looking at my notes, and this is one of the rare times where I didn't even have to remember what I had to say because the conversation was just flowing. We've been with Oprah for so long, I think sometimes we take for granted who she's been to all of us, the aha moments she's given us. And she gave so many to me, and hopefully you all right there. For someone who has helped so many people better understand themselves and their purpose, it was cool to also see how she's still discovering her own. And with the Oprah podcast, she's continuing to create space for those kinds of conversations. Thank you so much, Oprah, for being here and for showing us that even after achieving the dream, there is still discovery on the other side and gratitude for what got you there. See you guys next time. Baby,